Alright, okay, so I got my M249 Mark I here. I've got my M249 PolarStar jack variant in this box here. But first we gotta disassemble it because, yeah, I just got all this stuff in, except for the gun. Alright, let's go ahead and get the guns. There we go. First piece, pretty easy. Go ahead and disconnect the wire in the front. Nice and easy. This is actually a very easy gun to disassemble for anyone that's wondering. Definitely not as hard as an M4 or an AK or anything like that. There's two screws on the side of the gun that you have to remove in order to get the gearbox out. They should be the same size. Now, like I said, this gun is still an AEG, so I'm going to have to pull all of the internals out. So it's not just going to be a straight drop in. And this gun was not working before this video, so if you see me fiddling around with stuff, it's because I don't know what's wrong with it on the inside, and I'm going to try and figure it out. I think the trigger assembly might be burnt out, but like I said, I'll find out when I get inside of there. Alright. Pull the gearbox shell out, and because of the motor it's stuck in there. There we go. Not stuck per se, as much as it's the wire came off of it. Alright. Oh yeah. Plastic came off that a little bit. No big deal. Doesn't matter. All is getting replaced. If I can go ahead and disconnect this one as well. I'm going to finish taking the gearbox apart. And this one's got a quick spring change guide feature. On the side of this bad boy. Reverse the screws. Got a lot of screws in it, more so than your traditional version 2 or version 3 gearbox. Back to what I was saying, there's two screws in this gearbox shell that are going to look like you need to remove them, but you don't. And the reason why is because they're not actually holding the gearbox shell together, they're just holding this micro switch down here in the bottom in place. So we're not going to touch those two. Just in case you're wondering, it'll be these two screws right here and here. You should see a little hole in the gearbox shell, indentation, much like the rest of them. But they'll be diagonal from each other. Don't unscrew those. Makes other things more difficult. Alright, so now we just hold them apart. And you don't have to worry about a spring, of course, because of the quick change spring guide. Just got these wires through. Won't be needing them anymore, but still. Alright, so out the piston head, or piston head, air nozzle, tappet plate, and tappet plate spring. All of that looks good. that out of the way. Pull out the rest of the gears. They all look good. They all look good. Huh. All this stuff to the side right now. Oh, yeah, it's all attached. Yep, cool. Alright, go ahead and pull out the rest of the bearings. Won't be needing them. So long they've gotten stuck. Make sure those are really that side. Alright, this next part is just cleaning out the gearbox shell. Not that it's an absolute 100% necessity, but it doesn't hurt. And just makes your gearbox looking a lot nicer. And just leaves less chance of anything happening at all. Of course, it's not going to be squeaky clean. I'm just doing a basic cleaning of it. I'm not going to get like too crazy about it. Okay, so here is the M249 PolarStar jack. As you can see here, very nice, very fancy. Pistol grip screw that they give you. It requires this one specifically for it, just because it has a hole bored out in it for the line to go through. Don't know if you can see that or not, but without this, you're not gonna have those coming out of your gun. So, very necessary, very good they sent this to you. Unscrew all of this and get that in there. Remove this, loosen it up. Alright, okay, so we found out that's a little bit more complicated of a problem than what we wanted. So it's not quite as simple of an installation as before. But basically, right in here is where the trigger mechanism goes for the M249. And right under this piece of metal right here, in the framework of the weapon, is a screw, much like this one, that we have to replace. Because of course, as you saw, this one has the hole through it. Only problem is it goes in right about here and it's covered up by this metal, and the way the line's supposed to come out, it comes out to the bottom of this gearbox, and with the way the trigger mechanism is designed, it completely covers it up and gets in the way. So we're thinking we're probably going to have to Dremel out this section right here just to be able to get the line through it, and then out through here so we can get out the pistol grip. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and just install the PolarStar jack to the gearbox shell and not worry about the other stuff. Alright, so with it already cleaned out and everything, we're going to take out this micro switch, because I actually have another micro switch I bought a while ago. I don't know if there's anything wrong with this one. I don't really feel like testing it. I'll test it later on. Going with a philosophy of always having spare parts. I've got this here, it's brand new, I know it'll work, so I'm not having to take the gun back apart a million times and wonder if that's a problem. So you take out the two screws holding the micro switch in place. Alright, and here is the FCU, or fire control unit. Here is the actual jack itself. Anyways, I'll go in there. We've got the wire harnesses for hooking up to the micro switch. and then the FCU, and then the PolarStar jack unit itself. Alright, so this smaller piece right here plugs into the smaller white piece plugs into PolarStar jack. If it'll go in, there we go. And then FCU will attach later on because we gotta put that through to the front. This goes in here more or less kind of like this, like your normal piston, no, not piston, like your normal metal cylinder head would go in. Alright, let me go ahead and screw in this micro switch with 2 screws I took out. You'll notice that 2 of these screws are longer than the other screws, and that's because 2 of these screws go right here, and the rest of them go throughout the gearbox shell. Alright. And these 2 wires right here will plug into it. This shorter one going up to this top piece. This one, just in case you really just can't tell, the shorter one has the white wire. Goes to the plug-in slot all the way to the top. And this one can go down here to the bottom. Screws going back into the gun, or not the gun, gearbox shell. My bad. Alright. There's one. There's 2. In. As soon as I get it in. And 10. There we go. Alright, so take this piece off. Alright guys, so this M249 PolarStar jack installation has been a lot more troublesome than what we originally thought. Okay, so we got this piece into the pistol grip. That's all fine and dandy. We did the dremeling to the lower frame of the M249 right there. If you can see that, we cut it back all the way to here. I don't know if you can see that well or not. Probably not. But anyways, we had to dremel that all the way back. But then we had even more problems within the gearbox shell itself of the wire not wanting to come neatly from here to the hole in the pistol grip. So what we had to do is we had to dremel this hole right here into the bottom of the gearbox shell and wire it through the motor cage, so it would come out through there, come out through this hole, and now fit properly in through the lower frame and then out through the pistol grip. So custom work involved, yes, but will it be worth it? Yes. I'm just gonna finish putting the rest of the screws. Again, so many times I've done this. You won't see it though. It's all edited out. So no concern for you. You don't get to watch that boring shit. I just have to live it. Alright, kiddies. I'm going to put the gearbox shell into the frame of the gun now. Just gotta go in here. put the 2 gearbox screws back in. Screw number 1. Screw number 2. Slide the charging handle back on. Put this screw back into place. Oh, for as much trouble as we've gone through for this thing, you better believe I was going to get this to go. Well, yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Here on C.R.U Channel News, we're going to Fulda Gap 2015, bitches! Yeah. Alright, so we got the M249 PolarStar jack, the Mark I variant, tank, regular, airline, all that. I had to make one more modification to the very, very lower portion of the gun. Out of the pistol grip right here, just for the line to come through. I know it doesn't look the best. We'll go back and paint it over or something. But all in all, don't do this unless you got some patience and time. The modifications can be a little bit difficult if you don't know what you're doing. It'll be very difficult. And just a little test fire for you guys so you can see how it sounds. Sounds pretty good. Alright, so now that we're done with the installation part of the video, we're going to move on to the next part of the video, which will basically just be field test, range test, accuracy test, all the fun stuff.